Welcome to the show where three generations of family go head to head on a variety of topics. You got one Gen X, Kaya, one millennial, Noe, and one Gen Z, Chris. No matter what the topic, you can bet it's going to be up for debate.
Because I hit a soft spot. You know I'm right.
What soft spot?
That all these adults
Man, the beach
are following
is
years in terms of popularity stuff. 100%.
the beach.
100%.
Ain't nothing soft about this spot.
100%. All these 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds now want to be influencers, want to get on YouTube, want to get on Instagram. That's what the kids got money off of.
Dude, you are sadly misinformed.
Oh my God.
No, as far as this whole influencer thing.
Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, these millions.
Never heard of them. Never heard of them.
YouTube.
Never heard of them. Okay, but never heard of them.
Cool money. But that's you.
But you're talking about influencers. Influencers started with people like the Kardashians. You can argue that all you want to.
You talking about just the concept of influencers. I'm talking about popularity and having influence on other stuff in society.
How many followers do the Kardashians have?
Why are you just talking about the Kardashians?
Because you're
people.
No, you are missing the point, because it started with selfies, because you want to talk about your aunties and how they love taking pictures and stuff like that. That didn't happen from no Gen Z.
Okay.
Anyway. You don't want to believe what I say because you want to be right.
It ain't about me wanting to be right. You go online now, it's nothing but kids running the internet.
I agree with that. I said I agree with that.
That is my point. That is my point. And the adults follow the trends. That is my point.
Everybody that I seen doing the Cuff It challenge weren't Gen Zs. Maybe that's my algorithms. Who knows? Everybody that I seen doing the CeeLo Green wasn't Gen Zs.
You have literal mothers with children with their babies in hands doing dances that were made by kids on TikTok.
You going to random places kids in the background
in public places doing dumb stuff just for attention, which is what kids were doing. Adults, grown people with children.
Hence the reason why I clearly have not gained what I need because I'm not that type of person.
But that is my point. You're talking about you. I'm talking about the overarching society. Your generation and on,
I get
do the same thing that kids created.
But, all right, so I get what both of you said. I think the thing that's missing to some degree is like the platform. So just as an example, right? So in regards to like, I would probably say personally, the original like influencer was probably like the Kardashian family. Not saying that these other kids don't do it, but if you watch them from the beginning, like when their shows and stuff first aired, it was like to what it is now. It was a different kind of thing. It's kind of gross. But I also listening to what you said in regards to like people just going out and doing dumb stuff or whatever for attention. That stuff kind of like been happening. I think the difference is you're talking about waiting for like a weekly show with things like Jackass. Like, so the things that they would do on the show Jackass is the stuff that catches film on YouTube now. But those were things that were like made, like Johnny Knoxville and them weird dudes who just made all that stuff famous at the time. I think what makes it different, like I said, is just now it's like dudes ain't waiting for every Wednesday for the joint to come. And now it's like, bro, we can put this online every hour. You know what I'm saying? So I think the advent of technology, that's just an example of just those two.
You know, I'm just saying, and I'm not even talking about historically who made the first selfie and all that. I'm talking about right now in society. All the other generations follow Gen Z when it comes to popularity. 100%. I'm not just talking about going out and doing dumb stuff in terms of like just, I don't know, running somebody over the car. No, I'm talking about like doing these stupid dances in Walmart and recording yourself, or just putting up a tripod and filming yourself do mundane tasks just to put on TikTok. Like adults weren't doing that before the kids started doing it and just making
That's
mad money
that's
off it with
that's not
streaming and
true.
all that
That's
stuff.
not true.
100%, bro.
No, you want to know because I can honestly tell you that
TikTok is
that's not true.
new.
Could you wait? I can tell you that that's not true because of the fact that adults were doing that way before the internet was even a thing on TV.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You can go back to Video Music Box.
Ma,
Yes, I said Video Music Box. No, you just said that adults were not doing this before.
Come on, contextualize what we talking about.
No, but you act like y'all invented the wheel.
Y'all
Y'all act like y'all invented the wheel, and all you're doing is reinventing what's already been out there.
Nobody's saying anybody reinvented the wheel. Nobody's saying that. What I'm saying is, if you talk about Video Music Box, when was anybody taking out a touchscreen phone, putting it up at a gas station, recording themselves pumping gas, any average American, and posting it on TikTok just because? What person on Video Music Box was taking their phone, recording them doing pranks in Walmart, and posting it on TikTok? What person on Video Music Box?
You can't say TikTok or because the internet wasn't around. So what they did was they used the avenues that were available. Television was the avenue, so they used their camcorder and then they put it on the show.
Okay, because
I think that's the biggest difference. I think the technological advancement is what changes the perception, because essentially, like everything that you're describing, I couldn't say growing up, yo, we had YouTube for this. But like if you said, yo, who was doing pranks and this and this and this, I would be like Ashton Kutcher when he was doing the punk things, or who was doing the crazy stuff in the stores or this. I would say this person back then. But I also understand like what's hot is to go to the gas station and do this. Now, if you're talking, I would assume it's like every day your average person. I mean, I don't personally know who does stuff like that. That's just me. So you would be more tapped in with that. But I think, like I said, if we're talking about the average everyday person at the gas station, like, I'm pumping my gas. Hey, this is what we're doing. Like, oh my gosh, it's me and my friends. We're here and whatever. Like, we just spent $15 for 32 for, like a half a gallon, like whatever. I get all of that. But I can see what both of you are saying. I just don't know how we kind of like come to an agreement or agree to disagree here.
We can agree to disagree.
What would have happened if you had a phone back then and Video Music? But I'm not talking about what would have happened if y'all had this. But what's happening now is kids is running the internet. That's a fact.
And yeah, but that's not anything.
But nobody is disagreeing with that.
But that's my point.
No, you said that. No, you said that nobody was doing that before. What I'm saying is that they couldn't do it to this extent because we just said they didn't have the technological advances back then.
We're not talking about what they could have done. I'm talking about what is actively happening. You're talking about hypotheticals. I'm talking about.
But that's the thing, though, because that actually makes the difference. And here's what I mean: the technological advancement makes the difference for this reason. It was a lot harder. So the way, whoever developed, the first flat phone or the first iPhone or whatever, like the first Qualcomm that could do something unique, right? Before that point, the only way to kind of get yourself seen in that sense was like, yo, we got to go out here and hand this out and do this and film this and send it to 100 people. And so let's just say Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, Pretty Boy Fredo, and 13 other of these dudes. It wouldn't be 13 dudes with 13 YouTube channels. It would be 13 dudes sending their stuff to sending their stuff to Sony, sending their stuff to Epic, sending their stuff to these people, and then getting chosen. The ad technology has made it so now, like, yo, we can flip this thing. So now all of them can eat and kind of just blow this thing up. So, I mean, it broadens the reach of mad people where you can just be like, yo, I know 5,000 people in my circle. If I could just get them to do this and like, each one share this, that, and the third, technology changes that. I think the idea of young people running things, that's just the way the world works. But now it just seems it's so much greater because technology and the reach. I can post one thing and then it can get to, 5,000 followers. And then let's say each one of those people reshare that, then it gets to another, 3 or 4,000. So like that technological advancement has created massive reach, which makes the impact of it seem greater. But it's kind of like saying, well, hey, if I have $100 today versus $100 back then, what it means to the society is something totally different, or $1 million then and now is two totally different things. So technology today means massive reach, where technology back then meant, hey, you can get chosen to do this thing on the show or whatever the case may be. So you can take all this selfies, you can run all these things, but it's going to be presented at a different platform until that technology, has been built to do otherwise. But I don't disagree with what you're saying. Kids and the youth do run the stuff.
I never disagreed with that either.
I just don't think that that's new to now. I
think there's nothing new about what's going on. Yeah, only the fact that, like you said, the technological advances. Because Crazy Sam on Video Music Box was doing the crazy, hence the name, was doing the craziest things back in the day.
Like y'all treating it like it's money, where you do a calculation to factor in inflation, as to say that this is nothing new. You didn't have, like, to flip your argument on his head, you didn't have the same technology back then, right? Obviously, so certain things couldn't happen in the same manner. So obviously you could argue and say this could have or wouldn't have happened back then if this was present. Sure. But none of us here sitting here today have experienced the type of things that are happening in society right now because of the technology. It's never happened before.
That's a different argument.
Okay.
And I mean, I think the difference basically of the debate argument, if you will, is that only a Gen Z would think that they invented what's going on right now.
Never said we invented it. That never came out of my mouth.
Well, here's my question.
That never came out of my mouth. I said y'all want to be like us. The trends and all this stuff. The fact that we keep the needle pushing popularity-wise, y'all follow behind us in terms of those trends. I never said we invented anything. Never said we created social media. I said we made it popular, and the trends that come with it, the adults follow behind us.
So let me see if I can piece this thing together. So you're saying that we want to be like you. And you're saying,
not literally,
how can we? I know, I just figured. But you're saying, how can
I want to?
How can I want to be like you when you're doing what I did to the original things that I was doing, what you already did too? So it's,
you couldn't have done what has never been done before. How can? But
so as an example,
no. Hold on. To your point, right? If the technology now was put back then, things would be different. You did not have the technology then, so the same things that are happening now didn't happen back then. We're taking advantage of the things that are happening now in a different way because we have more tools, more things accessible to us that were not accessible to you. So now that these things are now accessible to you, you're basically doing the same things that we're doing, that we're already capitalizing off of. All these dudes that are making millions and millions off of basically sitting at home and doing nothing, they're kids. Every single one of them, kids. Speed, Aiden Ross, Kai Cenat, streaming, Twitch, all that, kids. Then after they made their money,
I never heard of anybody.
Exactly. This is my point. Exactly. And after they made their money, T-Pain went on streaming. All these rappers started going on streaming and started making stupid money because of what kids started doing, playing video games on streaming. But this is what I'm talking about. Y'all wasn't doing that back in your generation, back in your day, because you didn't have those tools accessible, to your point. So how can we do what y'all did if y'all didn't have Twitch back then? You got adults mimicking or creating their business plan off of what kids already banked off of today. Fact. 100% fact.
Okay.
So the reference here is Twitch and Kick?
The reference here is Twitch.
I mean, you started off with, I ain't gonna do it. Do it for the Vine. I ain't gonna do it. Everybody was on the Vine.
Vine, kids.
Then Vine,
memes,
fizzled out. Everybody was on MySpace. MySpace fizzled out. It wasn't kids. It was everybody.
Yeah, MySpace. Right, correct. MySpace was nowhere near as big as Facebook. Facebook is nowhere near as big as Instagram anymore. MySpace is nowhere near as big as Twitter. MySpace is nowhere near as big as TikTok. MySpace is nowhere near as big as Twitch. This is my point.
The people that I know on Twitter, the people that I know on Instagram are all of a certain age. And that's my algorithms. Because I don't want to see y'all. I don't want to see y'all doing your little...
I don't even there either, because I don't want to see us
whatever.
Either. It's disgusting.
And that's why you say it's disgusting. Because the stuff that I see in my feed is stuff that uplifts, stuff that encourages, stuff that makes me laugh, stuff that made me go, what? But I ain't like, I don't need to see y'all going in front of somebody to get views, to get attention.
But that's where we are right now.
I actually can't stand people that are needy for attention.
That is the current business model.
And hello.
Quite literally, that is the current business model.
But like I said, same way that you had Benny Hill, Ralph, Jackie Gleason, like some of the people from back in the day. I forgot to play Ed Norton on The Honeymooners, but like nothing is new under the sun. It's evolving into something different. Sometimes people just try to, like, there's people that say that, I forgot who one of these artists now was bigger than Michael Jackson. And even though Michael Jackson has been gone now for almost 15 years, there is no one on this planet that will ever be Michael Jackson.
Agreed.
Can we all agree on that?
Agreed.
No, we.
Yeah. I mean, Taylor Swift is pretty close. I'm just saying.
I was about to call you your brother. But I mean, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Chris Brown, his performances, Usher, but you have these artists that are great. James Brown was a great artist. Michael Jackson took what he learned from like a James Brown and the footwork of a James Brown, and he literally made something his own, unique to himself. Nobody was out here. I mean, Elvis tried, but Elvis got a lot of his moves from us. So, you know,
Elvis got his moves from Forrest Gump. You know what I'm saying? With the knee braces and everything. Elvis bit off the handicap.
I don't know if it's called handicap anymore due to I think that's a bad word now.
Handicap?
Yeah. It's
It's a Gen Z thing, isn't
it? Gen Z is offended by everything. Like terminologies that we used to be able to say. Like I think homosexual is an offensive word. Obviously.
What's the word? Gay?
Yeah, you have to call out there whatever they are. The bisexual, non-binary, or whatever those things. You can't say retarded. You can't say midget. You can't say.
What do you say? Stupid?
No, you say I forgot the word, but mentally
sense?
No, mentally ill, mental illness.
A little slow?
No, you can't say that. ADA accessible is handicap. ADA something.
So when you go to
disabled
a spot, You got to say that's an ADA accessible spot over there with the blue lines. They're going to start writing ADA accessible instead of just putting the little picture. The picture's offensive too. Because Buddy's in the wheelchair.
The wheelchair? Yeah, no.
Buddy's in the wheelchair, like, you know what I'm saying?
But it wasn't until, you know, this new generation where everything is an offense. You can't have.
I don't know if I can blame Gen Z for that one. That might be part of the trans movement.
Well, this was happening before the trans movement.
Oh, well.
So if that's the case, then it ain't us.
What do you mean it's not us?
You said it's a Gen Z thing. How could it be us?
It is you, because this has been going on for gradually going on for the past 5-6 years.
They legalized gay marriage when Obama was in office.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with trans. That has nothing to do with the trans movement.
100% it did. The trans movement doesn't happen if that doesn't happen.
But gay marriage has nothing to do with trans and bathrooms and stuff. That has nothing to do.
But I'm saying all of those people who benefited from that were the foundation for what's happening now. That wasn't Gen Z.
So who do you think it is?
Millennials.
Who do you think it is that they want to now ban books, certain books that would cause children to be their feelings to be hurt in schools? Who do you think that?
We're a product of that. We didn't.
Who do you think is the ones that said everybody's a winner, everybody's going to get a trophy that they volunteered in this race?
People. Again, we're the product of that. We did not create that.
But if everything wasn't an offense to you guys, if you didn't cry over every little thing, then some of these laws would not be changed to accommodate you.
You're pointing the finger at the wrong people. We're a product of that. We did not create that. So do you kill the chick or the mother of the chick?
Did you hear what I just said? If you guys did not cry, whine, complain about every little thing, then maybe the parents or the older people that are in positions of power would not change the laws to accommodate your weak egos.
The laws are not being changed to accommodate. It's being changed to exploit it. Why would law? When has the government ever changed laws for us to be benefited?
I said laws. And I'm not even talking about the government. This is happening in our local schools. This is happening. Huh?
How do laws get changed without the government?
I'm not talking about laws like the Constitution. I'm talking about how at the school there can be, before it was you get first place, runner up, and what is it, second or third place. Now everybody's a winner. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody, they changed the rules. Okay, let me say rules, not laws. They changed the rules to accommodate you. Whereas before, we just had to work harder and try again the next time.
I still stick to my point. I think you're pointing the fingers at the wrong people. Without holding others accountability or without holding others accountable for their part in why we're here now. But saying Gen Z is the reason that we're here.
I do think again, I see both sides of it. I think for me, it's the why, because I feel like each side has a response to the why. So again, why? Because y'all are soft, and then it's why? Well, because you want to exploit. So I think that's a pretty interesting argument there. I don't personally have the answer to it.
It's nice how you kind of just smooth that out. You just buff that out. You just took a sock and you
talking about the Mark Zuckerbergs and all those people. Those are the people that created what made us the way we are.
It could possibly be technological advancement has created softness.
That's what I'm saying.
That is a definite, because if you put a group of kids in a room together, they don't play with each other. They get on their phones, and you're in the what's the word I'm using? You're in the company of others, and you actually have somebody to sit 100%. And talk to face. But 100%. Instead of having a face-to-face conversation and or playing Tag You're It or Duck Duck Goose or Punchinella, you would rather be on your phone.
Absolutely.
Punch what? What game is that?
Punchinella. You never heard, what can you do? Punchinella, what can you do? Punchinella,
where they was playing that in Brooklyn?
Oh, we can do it too. Punchinella. That's what I used to play growing up.
They wasn't playing that in Jamaican households.
No, this was in the street. We actually played in the street. And outside. We were outside. It was like, go outside. Now, it's just like everybody's inside with a phone.
But here's the thing, right? I agree with you 100%. But look at your example. You said you put a couple kids in a room and they want to talk to each other. They go on their phones. If these are kids, who gave them the phone? Who made the phone? They don't have a concept of a phone until it's introduced to them by the adult. So how can you blame the kids?
So you just want.
Yo, but that is literally such flawed thinking. How can you blame the kid for that?
Listen,
they didn't.
Okay. Because I did not grow up with a phone. I was on dial-up internet till I was in my early 20s, maybe late 20s.
Shout out to the 56K.
Right? AOL online. I still got my AOL email address. Right on. But I have my phone and I be on my phone a lot. But if I'm in the company of others, I am focused on the people that I'm in the company of.
Yo, like, you're an adult. If you give a child a phone, a child does not have a sense of discernment. Adults are even addicted to their phone. Can't even have a regular conversation with an adult without them checking their phone. You give it to a kid, what do you expect? For him to be like, oh, it's been 5 hours, let me put my phone down. Let me put my screen time on. No, it's a kid. A kid will not do that if he doesn't have a phone in the first place. It has to be given to him by an adult. That's a fact.
So you got a phone when you were a kid, because, and granted, you had to press the number 2 3 times. You had to press the number 2 to 3 times to get a seat. But because of the fact that times are now different, and I wanted to be able to communicate with you after you got out of school, because the streets is different, you know, I just wanted to let know that you were okay. You got a phone. So a lot of parents do that because of the fact that of the world we're living in.
5-year-old don't need no iPhone, man. If that's the case, get a prepaid flip phone.
What 5-year-old has an iPhone?
No, come on. Every kid you know has a phone, a touchscreen tablet or something. Literally. Winky had one at that age.
Yes, that only had learning games on it.
He could go on the internet if he wanted to.
No, he could not. No, he could not.
Are you serious? Kids are literally, everybody you know with a kid has a touchscreen cellular device.
The iPad that he had when he was his age, when he was that age, it was not one that you could only play certain games on it.
I'll ask this because I can already see where this is going. Is there any accountability from the older generation for why the kids are that they are right now?
I actually started this particular part of the conversation by saying that baby boomers are responsible for the crapola with millennials, and Gen X are responsible for what's going on with the Gen Z. Did I not say that, Noe?
You did. But you're juxtaposing yourself by blaming
and she said
Gen
that y'all are
Z
soft
for why they are the way they are.
Wait, say that again, Chris?
I said you're juxtaposing yourself by saying that, and on the same token, blaming Gen Z for being the way that they are.
Well, you still got to pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
started off the conversation by saying we're responsible for y'all being like that,
But
because we wanted to give you guys what we didn't have. We were so we're gonna give our kids everything we didn't have, not realizing that a lot of the stuff that we did have was necessary for us to grow up and be responsible, intelligent, strong-minded individuals.
So what you're saying is you weren't loving your child, you were loving the younger you.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's a good one.
Ooh.
Now that was a good one. That was a good one.
Ooh.
That was a great one. That was a bar. Mic drop.
So what are we?
So is that why you look like somebody stole your bike, Chris?
What?
You're like this.
I was looking at my phone.
Are you what's the name of your proving your own point?
No, just got a text message. What just happened? I don't get it.
Nothing happened. It's just
if you don't see the irony,
What? Because being on the phone, or whatever.
the whole conversation we just had, you was just like, you're adults, you can do it, and how you can respect with the kid, and here we are in the middle of recording. What's the matter? Nothing. I was just looking at my phone.
I don't see how that
I
goes.
was just looking at my phone. Anyway, so because this conversation was heated. This was one of the heated debates. This was like the adultification conversation that we had back in the back after the Sesame Place debacle.